Hello, and welcome to the Quick Flick Critic Reviews and Interviews. I'm your host, John Smistad, and these are my takes on films both new and not so, spanning a wide range of genres and tastes, plus conversations with some of the coolest people in indie entertainment. Now, let us rock with this one, shall we? Hello, and welcome to this edition of the Quick Flick Critic Reviews and Interviews. My guest today is filmmaker CLAY TATUM. CLAY is the director, the co-writer, and the co-star of the new film. It's called The Civil Dead. I've seen it. It's a hell of a film. First of all, CLAY, welcome to the Quick Flick Critic Reviews and Interviews. It's a blast to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So let's talk about The Civil Dead. You could call it a comedic horror film, but there's drama in there, and there's some stuff that'll start and startle you going on. Tell the folks what they can expect to see and experience when they see The Civil Dead as I did, if you would, CLAY.
I think what you would expect is, or what we try to get out, is just two dummies being dumb together. Pretty much that's it. I think we like to use the font and stuff that might like suggest horror, but and we like to set up like tropes or certain genre expectations and maybe flipping them, because really the story is just about like two friendship that has some difficult, or two friends really having difficult times communicating.
Yeah. Yes. That's the crux of the story right there. How did you decide to? This is interesting to me as I watched the film, because there's different tones going on, and I love that in a film, and especially when you can pull it off successfully as you did, and I mean that. How did you decide to construct and put the story together the way it did? Because there are different, like I say, tones, different moods, different atmospheres going on throughout the film and throughout the story, and I thought that was really, it brought you in and it was compelling.
Yeah, we didn't really, when me and Whit, the guy who is also in it and co-wrote it with me, we didn't really think about hopping tones or whatever. We always like wrote from like, we found the story to be interesting, like the push and pull between these friendships, and so we kind of just followed that, and we didn't really think much about the genre or whatever. I knew that we were gonna write scenes that maybe like was suggesting that, oh, something creepy is happening, but we really didn't really think about it that much. We kind of just like really only thought about like the friendship dynamic, and kind of like had that be the most important thing in the writing of it.
CLAY, do you believe in ghosts? Have you ever?
I don't.
Ghosts, do you believe?
I don't believe it at all. But the people around me that I'm really close with, my mom, my wife, have all experienced very different supernatural things.
Yep.
My mom has seen like UFOs and ghosts, and like she tells me stories about it. And then my wife has seen a ghost, and I think that's interesting. And I'm always intrigued with that. I think I'm really intrigued with like supernatural stuff like that, because when my mom saw a UFO, she saw it with my grandpa, who was her dad, and they got really obsessed with like UFO stuff. And so my grandpa was starting to buy a lot of like VHSs of like UFO stuff, and they all had the VHSs like looked really strange, and they had this weird eerie feeling to them, like the way these documentaries were made. And I think I am really nostalgic for that, and so I think that kind of explains my interest in the supernatural. But as my personal experience, I've experienced nothing of that sort. But a lot of people around me have, and I think they're probably just half asleep.
Half in the bag, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't embrace it, but I don't dismiss it either. I don't dismiss it out of hand. I don't know.
Yeah.
Flat out don't know. I've never seen a ghost, never seen a UFO. I too have talked to people who believe they've seen a UFO, and I don't know if I've talked to anybody who's well, I guess some of my wife's family has said they've seen a ghost. So, to each his own.
Yeah.
Just the way I see it. We got to touch on this. You're from Alabama, right?
Hmm.
Okay, you're in LA now. Okay, that's not a culture shock.
No, yeah.
What were the major comeuppances for you moving from Bama to LA, man? In terms of, okay, this is a different way of being.
Well, as a kid, I always wanted to live in a big city, and I was in a band as a kid, and we would tour around the South and go to different cities,
Oh,
and
cool.
and I went to LA expecting it to be like a New York City type of place, and the culture shock really was me moving to LA and realizing it's just a bunch of suburbs that are kind
Pretty
of close
much.
to each other, and that was the shock to me because I was expecting more of a hustle and bustle. Even though there's parts of LA where you can find that for sure. But when I moved here, I didn't find it. So that honestly, that was the culture shock of me being like, "What is this?" I'm like, I moved to Santa Monica, and I'm like, "What is LA? I don't know what this means."
Where is
Yeah,
it? Yeah. Well, where are you from in Alabama?
I was born in Birmingham, Alabama, which is like the largest city in Alabama. But then I moved to Gulf Shores, which is it's where Alabama meets the Gulf.
Yeah, no, I
And
know
it's
where
like
it
a
is. Yeah,
beach town, and it's like really close to. It's more Florida than it is Alabama.
yeah.
But Jimmy Buffett's big there.
Cool.
It's a tourist town,
Yep.
and that's where I met Wit.
Oh, is that right?
Oh yeah, we met when we were 11. We both skated,
Whoa.
skateboarded, and that's how we became friends. And we started making skate videos, and eventually the skate videos we started making short films and stuff like that. So that was kind of like our intro into filmmaking.
Yeah, you skate in the film. You're good, man.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really wanted to use this film to show off all my talents, and because there's very few of them,
Why
and
not, man? It's
why
your
not?
baby. Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised I didn't play guitar in the movie. So
Oh, next one.
maybe for the next one.
Oh, yeah. So
Yes.
this leads to my next question, coincidentally. Can you tell us what you maybe, this was your first feature film, is that accurate?
Yeah, that's right.
First feature. Okay. What are you working on now? Can you share that with us, or is that like top secret?
No, it's not top secret. Me and Wit we wrote this movie called The Mailman about a punk band in the Deep South who are in their 30s and they've never been successful or had any money at all. And it's them adapting into normal life, or maybe them trying not to adapt to normal life. And it's a script that we've rewrote 2016, and it's kind of, since it takes place not in LA, it would be more expensive to like get a whole film crew in Alabama, and so like it's a more expensive film than The Civil Dead is, and we've been trying our hardest to get this thing financed, and I think this year's the year that we're gonna finally do it, and we're in the process of doing that. But as of right now, that's the next feature that we are working on.
Man, it sounds cool. I hope it comes out. And, I told you I talk primarily to independent filmmakers. I never hear what you just said, that
What's
they're having a
that?
hell of a time getting money to back their property.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Like,
mean,
that's the first time that's ever reverberated.
yeah. I guess like mainly how independent film works
I'm
is you
kidding
say
you.
I need 5 million, and they're like, okay, where do you want me to write the check? And for us, for some reason, it's difficult.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
You'll get it, man. You'll
Oh
get
yeah.
it, man. You deserve it. And well, I tell you, if it's anything like The Civil Dead, good things are coming. Again,
Thanks, my
the
man.
movie, absolutely, is The Civil Dead. It streams on Amazon Prime Video. Definitely recommend it. You've read my review. I definitely am partial to the story and the film and the folks who made it happen. This is Clay Tatum. He is the director, the co-writer, and co-star, along with his buddy since 11 years old, man.
No, yeah.
Elementary school. Jeez. And that gentleman's name is Whitmer Thomas. Clay, thank you so much, man, for being a part of the Quick Flick Critic Reviews and Interviews. This has been super fun, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching this episode of the Quick Flick Critic Reviews and Interviews. Now I ask that you please subscribe and be notified of my continuous new episode announcements. As always, you can read all of my flick reviews on my long-running blog, The Quick Flick Critic, at this URL you now see displayed on your screen right down here. So until next time, make it a great day and make it count. Goodbye, everybody.
Aww.